it go.
Let it go. Lord, help me let it go.
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 Let it go. Lord, help me let it go.
Help me let it go. Yeah, let's get going. Yeah. Let it go. Help me let it go. Master Jesus, let it go. Help me let it go. Go, 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 go. Go, let it go. I'm tired, let it go. Give your heart to Jesus. Let it take control. Just sit and worship. I know it hurts you, and I know it's painful. No way to wait, so you have to let it go. Your best friend is not your secret enemies. Let it go. Your wife is getting married to another man. Your husband are falling in love with another woman. Don't let it bother you. I've said let it go. If someone overlook you because you live in zero, if they insult you because you don't have nobody, if you say you will continue to be a zogo, if you say you will continue to be a prostitute, if you say you will continue to be a beggar, you will not marry, you will not bear your own children. If you say your knee is borrow, Sunday go to meeting, mommy can say no, Johnny ginger. Just let it go. Jesus will change your story. Let it go.
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 Let it go. Lord, help me let it go.
Help me let it go, man.
Yeah. Mighty blow. Holla. Nobody do it like you do it, you a true God. Yes. You always hear me when I say my prayer with few words. But Jenna said, if they plenty in this new world, read the power every day, now while I'm still a good boy. Jehovah bigger than your problem, so just let it go. Just keep on praying, he will make your blessing overflow. To be the best and more the rest, you gotta pray more. The God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the God of mighty blow. But there is power in your blood, now while I'm giving praises. Yes. I gotta dance and David dance, they think I'm getting crazy. But love is how you make it, brother, may not be easy. Every time I sin, I'm on my knees, begging God for mercy. Thank you for your love, blessing, and forgiveness. You solved my problem, Lord, you took me from the wilderness. Now only you can feel my struggle when I'm really stressed. So my papa bless me, then my enemy, they get the best. No matter what the problem is, man, just let it go. Your delay is not your denial, everybody know. Just keep on trusting in Jehovah, he will give you more. He took me from the grass, he can take you from the rock and roll.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Oh, let it go.
Let it go. Lord, help me let it go.
Your people are suffering, lying in the hospital, suffering from all kinds of sickness. Lord, help them. That's
We want to welcome you this evening. Today's program is Wednesday, All Things Considered, and that's how we want to introduce the program. Very shortly, our team of analysts and contributors, they're going to be joining us here for today's editions of All Things Considered, right here from the Diaspora Informative News outlet, Liberia Public Radio. Stay tuned, and we'll get this program going shortly.
let it go. Your best friend take your horse, man. Let it go. If your wife say we are not compatible, let it go. Your husband say you're not my type, just let it go. If someone killed for you before.
Let's do some quick acknowledgement here for folks joining us. They are always viewer, prime time to viewers and listener. Alice will say welcome, and let me just welcome my own CM brother right inside the nation's capital of the Republic of Liberia. Street talk versus reality talk right here this evening here. Then Honorable William Kangle is the former representative of Granger County, Republic of Liberia. He's always here with us. So much interest in knowing what is going on. You gotta say that leopard. So I know sometimes bring reflections of their days and all of these things here. So we want to welcome you. Good evening. Thank you, Johnson. Talkback, thank you for joining us. Melvin, Randolph, Sierra Thompson. These are our prime time followers right here on the Liberia Public Radio. I am Afonso Z, and so we want to say welcome. Let's get the board rolling here this evening. For the rest of the evening, this is all things considered. Hopefully, my team of analysts and contributors, they're going to be joining me right here. So welcome to the show.
Public Radio, an online platform in collaboration with Sky Radio and TV, presents The Liberian World Today, a 60-minute program that connects the Liberian diaspora to the Liberian nation. The Liberian World Today begins airing this Sunday, October 9 at 12 midday Eastern Time and 4 p.m. GMT. From politics to economics, health to education, the Liberian World Today brings on top guests with different perspectives and potential solutions as they discuss Liberia. Join our host, Afonso Zienzo, this Sunday, October 9 at 12 midday Eastern Time and 4 p.m. GMT for the maiden edition of the program, The Liberian World Today, on Lpr, an online platform, and Sky Radio 107.1 FM and Sky Communications Liberia Online. Don't miss it.
All right, that's all like. Here this evening. That's the executive mansion, the official residence of the President of the Republic of Liberia. The rest issue yet to be addressed. Why? Is it a street talk or is it a reality talk? Many more and a lot going to be discussed here this evening. Why is someone not telling the Liberian people what is going on? Street talk turned to reality talk. That's the executive mansion that the fortified executive mansion, which is the official residence of the President of the Republic of Liberia. Liberia is known to rice, is our staple food. Liberia may eat from money you can carry them to a restaurant, eat any kind of hamburger, whatever it is. When rice is not added there, the talking point becomes, I have not eaten today. So what's going on? Why no one is talking to people? Let's get started here. Nayet, I'm Afonso Z and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for sharing your evening and morning hour with us. That's the building that hosts the President of the Republic of Liberia, where the higher decisions, executive decision always come from. But for a week now, there's been breathing for a little while. Upon his arrival in Liberia, he was confronted by media And the Liberian people was told it was a strict talk. Is it still a strict talk or is it a reality talk? The liberal progressive of the Liberia Public Radio, Samson Blaku Branto, is here this evening. I have no idea how this is going to play out, how it's going to even end up again this evening. But remember, I told him yesterday about Israeli. You do me, I do you. He was in charge yesterday, and he was putting timeline when I'm talking. All his liberal friends, everybody were quiet, and he was beating his chest. He's in control. Now, the switch has changed this evening. Let me go to Saxton, Sacramento, and bring in the liberal progressive of the Liberia Public Radio, Samson Blaku Branto. The liberal, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Soul. Thank you. Thank you. We're back again.
Just started here. I want to hear you. If you're not ready to talk, let me know. I'm not.
I said good evening, Mr. Soul. We're here again to start the process. This is not time to be muted, to be honest with you. These are the particular time for all of us as Liberians to be involved and have serious conversation.
You ready for the conversation?
Definitely.
Okay, good evening. So let's be a little bit general here, and the Englishmen say magnanimous. Is that the right way I'm calling it?
I think I go English.
You don't even know it.
Yeah, but then you actually say that I go English, and if I'll tell you, yeah, I go English. And now what's going on in Montreal right now, when anybody speak the eyes and I go English, they say, yeah.
That go English or E? Okay, the conversation seems to change. This is all things considered. Like going to be discussed here this evening, but we're going to pull hook on it. From street talk is my own invention, is my own creation. From street talk to reality talk. Let's set the basis. Is it a reality talk, or are we still having a street talk?
Well, Mr. So it's very difficult to gauge the pub. I can gauge the public sentiment, but it's very difficult to gauge the government response. They're very much quiet. And hopefully they're digging out some serious stuff that they will come out and save the day. Because I've been perusing all over the internet and everywhere else, and I have not seen anything much from the government side.
What are they looking for to dig up?
Well, I'm hopefully they're trying to solve the rice issue, and but other people are coming up with false statement and everything else. So if you go on social media, not much is coming from the executive mansion. The only thing that I read today from the executive mansion was the death of Mr. Taylor, Tamar Taylor's son, who was the other chief over there in Lofa County, and the executive mansion expressed here sympathy, and that was about it. I mean, I don't know, maybe I missed something, but I have not seen anything. If I missed, then I'm sorry, but I have not seen anything.
How long will this conversation be within the domain, within the cycle of the people? You know, they know the history when it comes to rice business in Liberia. Why at this time no one is taking the bull by the horn? Conspiracy, false news in the window. The other guy from the port, the public affairs director, I'm wondering whether he's still having a job.
My understanding, he was suspended. I'm not too sure how true that is because it has not been announced yet. If it did, I didn't see it, but from a little rumors going around, he was suspended. But Mr. So, I think and it's very sad. It's very sad. Those of us that admire this president as an individual, not because of his presidency, but as an individual, I do admire him very strongly as an individual. I mean, he could be put out there as a shining star for many, many young Liberians who are trying to emulate what he has done. And Mr. So to now have these kinds of stuff wrapped around him, it's very saddening to many of us, because what I think most likely going to happen, he's going to be advised wrongly as he continues to get.
Is he going to be advised wrongly, or is he being advised wrongly?
He's been advised wrongly. and I'm saying that because of that, he will continue, and his people will continue to somehow not pay close attention to this until it explodes in their faces, and then they will see that there's nothing else is there left for the Liberian people than to to resist, because you cannot keep, if people are hungry, and if this is a government, this is not Mau society. This is not two-way party that is FBI society. This, I mean, FB, whatever they call them. This is not it. You're running a government for the people, by the people.
It most likely seems to be those names that you are measuring now.
Yes, that's exactly what they're doing. But what I'm saying here, this is a government, and the people needs to know. You tell them, even if it's bad, let them know. So at least those who can be prepared, they will be prepared. Let them know. Don't think you feel sorry for them by keeping it secret, or don't think they can't handle it. What else Liberians cannot handle? They went through war. Some of them walking with their brothers and sisters, and the brothers and sisters will be picked right out of the line and get killed, and they're still surviving. They're still surviving. They saw their own brothers and sisters killed during the war. I mean, with their own naked eyes, and they're still surviving. So because of rice, if there's a rice shortage, make it clear to the people. Go on not necessarily on the offense, but explain. You are the president, you are the father of the nation. You got your own personal, you got your own kids. You need to take this thing higher. Consider the entire country as your children. The entire citizenry of Liberia as your children.
There seems to be a high level of frustration in you from what I'm saying this
time. Yes, and I don't want to say too much, because then I might regret some of the things that I'm going to, because as I stated from the beginning, I'm not hiding it. I'm a strong admirer individual. I'm strong admirer of President Weah, not because of his presidency, but because of his individual character.
I mean, this not giving us the cause to be to act more like a psyche person, to profile and look at other components surrounding this sort of leadership. Is he or the government out of touch with reality, or what?
I would say so. I would not even hesitate to say that. It's been 5 years. It's been, even if this was some sort of a court that people swear upon blood that we get in here, nobody going to be removed. If that is the case, then this is not this is not the kind of job for you, because this is the Republic of Liberia. You have to reshuffle. Reshuffling does not show weakness, I believe. Reshuffling the government is just simply telling the people, okay, let's move around. Those of you that got fresh idea, you come to this and apply that fresh idea.
You are taking the wrong path. I don't want anybody to listen to you, because this is why you always try to do. What are you talking about? Reshuffle? Reshuffle, does that address the issue? Does that remove the issue out of the picture?
Mr. So, you're not going to bamboozle me to come your way tonight, because I know you're setting a trap.
You are not getting to the root cause.
But when you say I'm not gonna let the people to listen to you.
Hold on. I remember you were in charge last night. I am in charge tonight. So there are two things here. I'm not going to argue with you. At a click of one button, you disappear on the screen, and I have the ability to go on until this program comes to an end. So let's be gentle, let's be kind. You hire day, it's my day. On a serious note, the issue has to be addressed. There are root causes. There are things responsible. And I will listen to other people. Okay, the Minister of Health should be removed. I mean, the Minister of Commerce, this and that. Well, the bus stop it comes from the president. The Minister of Commerce cannot perform any magic when it is not there.
Mr. So, look, These people need to do some sort of a reflection, self-reflection. And I'll be ridiculous here. I am not a member of CDC, but I'm just giving my opinion. What's stopping people people like Jefferson Kochi to be Minister of Information? What exactly? Let me make my point, please.
Oh my goodness.
I'll say it.
I am
What exactly, Mr. So, will you please, unless you want to kick me out, unless your true intent here tonight, going to share very quickly, because I'm not here to be a kumbaya situation, to be your friend here tonight. So if you want to kick me out, please do so now, because you're going to have to let me speak. This is I know this is Donald Trump country. I know this is Donald Trump country, but LPR is not Donald Trump LPR. So you're not gonna try to bamboozle people out of accepting your conservative idea. Let me speak my mind. What's stopping Jefferson Kochi from being Minister of Information? What's stopping other people from moving from one point to another? What exactly Jefferson Kochi is doing as mayor of Monrovia? What is it? What is this? He's been over there now more than 4 years. What exactly has he done that people have not seen? Maybe he has done something nobody knows it. But here's the reason I'm saying about him going to Minister of Information is the 5 or 10 minutes he spent on LPR, he was very factual. He was very sincere. To say like he was the only person so far, the only top government officials who admitted publicly that Liberia has so many challenges. When somebody will tell you that type of information and not gloss over anything, then I think that person, if he was serving as Minister of Information, perhaps he would do well to disseminate information to the people. And right now, the people are not just hungry for rice. They're hungry for information from this government. You go on the website, Executive Mansion website right now. What were you going to see there? What are you going to see there? Not much. What's stopping this president? We got to wait until next Sunday before he will say something to us? The same puppet you use to denigrate Louis Brown, which I fault him to say this is not acceptable. Why can't you use that same method and have a press conference? When you were speaking on the pulpit, did anybody eat your hair? George Weah, your hair fading people mouth? George Weah, you scared of Liberian people? That you will be scared of Liberian people? You put Liberia on the map. You single-handedly were able to save people. You can't talk to Liberian people. You're scared of them? Why can't you have press conference? This is unacceptable. Go and explain to the Liberian people what's going on with their rice business. Go and explain what you know. Anybody who fought on that, let a person go. But you cannot just protect few people and allow the people that you used to suffer for them to now suffer in your hand. Unacceptable.
Yeah, please don't let your cholesterol go over the roof here. If anything here, we're not responsible. We don't have that type of insurance. So be careful here this evening because you sounding very ridiculous here. Did I hear you saying what's stopping Jefferson Kogi to become a Minister of Information?
Yes.
Is he doing what he's supposed to do at city corporation for which he should evaluation?
No, my opinion, no.
So then why are you making such
because of the one-time appearance on LPR and being very factual with us, giving us the truth.
This is why Joseph Boyka will not win election, because
I am not Joseph Boyka. I'm not Joseph Boyka's supporter. I just admire him. That's it. So what I say,
you need to start deceiving people here. You're just all over the place. Nobody knows where you even stand. You admire.
That's what I like. That's what I like. I like to be unstable. Like you say, I'm unstable. That's fine.
It wasn't my voice. You pronounce.
Okay, Mr. So, I'm unstable. I'm unstable. No, but Mr. So, on a very serious note, this is those of all. Let me just say again, those of all that are old enough to watch this young man come after people like Mama Musa then, come after people like Albert Nadin. When he played overseas, Mr. So, if you were, of
Oh,
course, you're
you know what?
younger, but if
I
you
don't
let
have
me, no,
question.
Mr.
Hold
So,
on, hold
just
on,
give
hold
me
on, hold
1
on.
or 2 minutes, please. Give me 1 or 2 minutes, please, if you don't mind.
1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute. I know you were young in the 80s. You were still, you know what? You're still young. But those of us that grew up
Yes, yeah.
in the 80s, okay, as young men, teenager, whatever it is you want to call it, and watched people play football in Monrovia, okay? Football in Monrovia was not something to play with. I remember my brother and myself, we weren't talking to each other for almost 2 months until my mom has to come from Town to come to Monrovia. Because why? I was supporting Barrow and he was supporting IE. And I believe IE was a criminal organization. So I didn't want to be bothered with him. Football business is not anything. And I mean, when I say criminal organization, that's just my own word. That's how much I hated them. I haven't seen them doing any criminality or anything like that. I just don't like IE. I don't like their uniform. I don't like, but people who play for IE, I like some of them. But the point that I'm making here, Mr. So, is this. When Dr. Weir or Mani or Opon used to play football in Liberia and even overseas, those of us that like football and follow football, because those days when IE and Barrow playing, we come together as a group. And this is the man that put us on the map. We admire him. And I'm saying to him here tonight, Dr. We ain't got no shame. I agree. Let him face the people and tell them what's going on with this right. Because nobody from his cabinet is doing any job.
Hold on 1 second. Don't waste my time here this evening, because that Mama Musa, Benedict, or Abonat story there, it does not commensurate with any act of governance. This is where you people went wrong. So I'm not going to buy into that. So let me ask you here, are you saying here, look in the eyes of the camera, are you saying the president is not aware of what is going on?
No, that's not what I'm saying. He is now put my eyes face to face on the camera now, so that people can see me alone. And then take yourself out of it. Thank you.
Let's go.
That's not what I'm saying.
Make yourself ugly this evening again.
Yes, that's okay. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this: that President Weir is the father of the nation. He has his own children. And so when he shouldn't be honored, this is the man that used to go and struggle just so that Liberia will be on the map. The man used to come here in the United States and go to state to play football so people will enjoy themselves. July 26th. He made part of July 26th to be permanent today. When the first game was organized in I would say Toledo, we organized it in Toledo, but the real one organized in Trenton, New Jersey. He participated in that, and see the amount of people that participate. I have pictures here. So I'm saying, if this man who has that kinds of popularity go on the camera, Dr. Weir, go on the camera, not to say you don't have material to do, because what I'm talking about, you got so many material to talk about. Talk to the people, face them, and explain to them why the people, if there's no rice, say so. If there's right, say so. And then you can even blame whoever. You can blame me for the rumors. I don't care. But talk to the people. You're losing it.
You becoming a little bit controversial here this evening, which of course is not a surprise. What does that have to do with people, i.e., Barrow, people meeting in New Jersey? Is it equipped with governing, leading?
Mr. So you're missing the point. But I don't blame you, because you have no interest in soccer. And but those who follow football.
So you put soccer first, then
you're missing the point. Those of us that like football, tabella, those of us that used to go to coconut plantation.
What the heck this guy is talking to?
Mr. So please, you're missing my point, but you will not understand it. You will not understand that kind of feeling. What I'm talking about, people who follow football, they know exactly what. My point is, this man in the football world, in terms of Liberia, he's at the top. And he has the opportunity now to get Liberia to another level. And he's not even able to face the people to tell them what is happening. Why must he depend on other people? If you don't know how to speak the English, speak no-go English. Who cares? As long the old man in down water side will understand why rice is not in town, money say no right because of
So
that's what we want.
yeah, but you kind of I just find it very difficult your argument this evening, singing those football songs. It's not what Liberian people you are telling us. You what you are saying here, literally, you are giving justifications of the president's argument when he was even confronted by the media about the rice.
Far from it.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, it's not far from it.
Okay,
Close,
go ahead.
close
Go
to
ahead.
it. I can tell you close to it. The song you're singing here is almost equivalent to street talk.
Okay, whatever you want to characterize it, go ahead.
It's an emergency issue national security. All sub-Saharan countries.
Right.
When it says, no, wait, then are you bring it up, please? It's rice. Are you saying the president or the government of Liberia is not aware of this? This issue started before the departed Liberia to the United Nations. We have seen this thing playing out, and I was say yesterday, because they refused funds that were provided, the government did not use wise judgment, good judgment, common sense approach. And sometimes you talk to people, they get mad. But unfortunately, people are not telling people what they should be telling them. They wasn't able to do it. Whatever they did with that money, God one knows. We're hearing it being rationed as usual, and you can see the justification. Most of these people they brought here, what was the point of it? Because for them, they want to get a bonuses, 10,000, 12,000, 13,000. You have the commerce minister out of the country. The trans business that happens in the international waters, which of course Liberia doesn't have anything in the international waters. There are a lot of businesses goes on. It has been reported and it's been validated by some folks within the government because the funds should have been subsidized by government, and government with inability to provide this funding. Ivory Coast and Guinea went and bought those rice, and they were shipped to those destinations because in international waters, different forms of businesses go on: crude oil, kerosene, all of these major products. There are some landlocked countries that don't have seaport. So those people that go out there to do business, and it's a strict cash delivery. And you have this idiot from the port of Monrovia, who is a public relations. I tried to find out if he's on a suspension. I'm not sure why he's on a suspension. Then they need to call Eugene Fagon back as well, who went and grabbed the picture when the consignment being offloaded in Abidjan, and went on the local network to say they were offloading food, rice, when the country is already in chaos. Give me a break. Who does that in your right mind? And then you come in here sinking sun? It's almost...
Are you done? Can I reply? First of all, let me welcome my brother here. Mr. So, thank you for joining us tonight. Mr. So, let me just say this here. This is exactly what I was afraid of. And this is why I'm calling on the president to come and talk. Because if the president don't say anything,
the president been talking.
You see now, you come. You see now, you
No,
start.
when you say come talk, like somebody who can talk.
When was the last time the president had a press conference?
No, but be specific. I'm not going to play.
That's the point that I'm making. I'm saying the president need to come, because if the president don't come out, or if, I don't even trust any of his, because of that picture from that idiot, I don't trust any of his representatives to come out and say anything now. It's too late. The president need to come out. First of all, give us clarity. What is happening with the rice issue? Is there's no rice in the country. You come and tell that to the people. No rice here, my people, but we're working on it. If there's rice in the country and people are playing politics with the rice issue, you come and say so as well. But by you not coming to make any point, anything, People will improvise. People will say what they think you say. And that's my point. My point of connecting this with the soccer world, because this is a man that was playing football for a very long time. And every time he has opportunity to be a French citizen, he has the opportunity to be a Cameroon citizen, he has the opportunity to be a citizen for Italy or whatever, so that he'll play for the World Cup. But he didn't do that. He came back home because of his love for the country. I'm not here defending the president. That's not the point. The point that I'm making is, this is the same man now today that is not even able, I believe, to stand before the camera and show us some emotion. Show us as you are, Mr. President. Be emotional on this issue of Liberians' rights. Show yourself. Liberian will listen. And that's the point that I'm making. That's the point that I'm making, Mr. So. I'm not trying to say that this football is higher than. No, that's not it. I'm saying, because when I'm speaking and I put this football, it really gets to me. It really gets to me. Because here's the young man that I admire as a person. And here he is today with this great opportunity. In 5 years, what exactly has Dr. Weah done that you're going to take to the bank? Look at the amount of controversy. You can count the controversy on your hands. Take all your shoes, and those I got 15, 17, 18 children, and I got to take all of them their shoes and count the toes and put no on the internet. That's how much controversy has been around this presidency. Why? Because the people you have. Why is it up to this 5 years and you haven't even switched people around? If the people are not able to produce something in 2 years, what makes you think they will produce it in 3 years? If they are not able to put programs together to help Liberians that you care for, if they are not able to do it in 2 years, what makes you think they're going to be able to do it in 3 years? That is the problem that I'm facing. And Mr. So, let me say this here, and I'm very serious. I'm getting very close to shutting this Dr. Weah business down in myself, within myself. I'm getting my admiration for this president and the way he's doing things in Liberia about our people. I'm getting very close to shut this admiration down that I have. I admire him, but it's only going to go too far. Because at this point, the position that brought you to this presidency is because of your love for the people and your love for the country. And then in return, they repay you. You love us, we love you too. But at this point, the way things are going, I'm getting very, very close to disassociate myself with all of the admiration process that I have for this president. I have the ability to compartmentalize issues. And I can take that admiration, I can take it and put it under the blanket and don't even think about it.
Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, we want to bring you this obituary information. That's the late Mary Wallace Anderson, the late Mary Wallace Anderson, will be laid to rest this weekend right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. Wakekeeping is on the 7th of October, that is Friday. Will be followed by the interment on the 8th, right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. The Liberia Public Radio will be bringing you live coverage on these the homegoing of Mother Mary Wallace Anderson. Where am I coming from with Allison? Mary Wallace Anderson. It's right here. It's going to be happening right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. Keep tuned. So we're going to keep you posted on all the news with respect to that. Let's take this break and we'll be right back.
From the West African nation of Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia Public Radio and Television present Business Diary, This program focuses on the activities of business institutions and individuals in society.
I'm Jeremiah Zawu Senior, CEO of All Nation Bank. It has been very good to have this business established here. We are 1 year since we opened here in Anono. There have been few challenges here that have faced in this country, and that is all about the language. But here instead, I refuse to be deterred. I refuse to be discouraged. I open a business and things have been fine.
My name is Mercy Wangari-Langa. I am a finance officer working for an international organization. I have a master's degree in business administration. So today I'd like to take the opportunity to talk to you about the COVID pandemic and how it has affected the business sector in terms of me working in an organization, an international organization.
Don't miss out. Be my guest. It's coming soon on Liberia Public Radio and Television.
Okay, there you have it. That's Business Diary, one of our programs. And again, to our many viewer, listener, families, especially of the late Mary Wallace Anderson, wakekeeping will be held in the Ocean State of Rhode Island. Solar Rackfield Hidden Christian Center is 384 Perry Avenue in Providence. That will be on Friday evening, the 7th of October. And funeral will be held at the Holy Jesus Catholic Church right here in the St. Ocean State of Rhode Island, the 8th, and to be followed by interment. So Liberia Public Radio, for those of you, the family, friends of the family, we will be bringing you live coverage. Okay, let me come back with the Liberal Progressive. I was talking to a few folks who work in government before. That's the late Samuel Doe government. I say usually under circumstances like this, a lot of phone calls, the president will be busy, all of those supposed to be held accountable. They don't have a sleepless night radio call. They used to have the walking, talking, you know, the one that used to be here. You don't even know he was in there. People will be moving here and there. But there are folks giving justification of some of these things. You have sedition who don't see it to be anything. It's not the president's creation. The president is not responsible. Yes, it's true. The rest issue has been there, but when you are in charge, you take responsibility. That's how you neutralize and stabilize tension when tensions are building. We're not going to go hold Helen Johnson Sirleaf. Helen Johnson Sirleaf is no more president. We can hold the guy who was parked in the garage. He's not there right now. We can only ask him how will it be done differently. You who are in charge, you are the one to address this issue. Am I surprised? Absolutely not. We have not seen it. I have not seen it that much. And you remember yesterday we were on the program, and I said, I'm not sure whether the president is actually working to be re-elected. Those words were echoed by Louis Brown today on 50-50. And that's quite correct. They kept grabbing things here that was not even going to help them. After street tour, Miami business came to town, and you have serious issues confronting the country. And nobody is saying anything, nobody addressing anything. And I see then other people saying, well, the commerce minister should go. Yeah, the commerce minister should go. So let's get to the root causes. What becomes of the money that was given to subsidize the importers? Did they receive it? How can the dialogue collapse before the government delegation came to the states? So it means there was a problem. You did not resolve. You did not do anything to address the problem. The ministers, people who are supposed to be there to coordinate, to make sure whatever the arrangement that was in place to stay there to coordinate, they all came. So how do you think the problem was going to be fixed? So it wasn't a surprise. Or who, Musa Din, our understanding, was in charge. So did Musa then brief the president the intensity of this issue, that in fact the vessel that were bringing the rice, because government did not subsidize, the importers refused. They said, we're not going to do anything. The vessel ended up being diverted. Guinea and Cote d'Ivoire intercept. Was the president informed, or should we say the acting person coordinating the affairs of the country did not tell the president? Was that questions in isolation to ask the president? And let's assume the president didn't know, and you are a president of the nation. You run the administrative arm of an institution, and you have been confronted with that question. If you are not even prepared, don't you think it was a better way to say it, to give hope to the people that you are leading? But we have people who are supporters of this government giving justification. How can the president then come, because the administration feels in her mind that they are on course, or what is being done is right? So if he come to speak now, what would he be saying? To say what?
Told you already. I think it was yesterday. When I told you what I think the president was, and I was, it was poking fun of it, but that's very serious. If you come, it's difficult.
Not to interrupt you. If it was going to be a really fun, and as he claimed, I don't know whether it was what kind of word he was using, street talk. If you are going to be a street tour, like he said, you were going to go to the White House to go see, has he gone there? It was being a street tour, and be to his credit that he moves camera in those places, and we see rice all in the place. And you say, oh yeah, the president is right. It's a street tour, but this is a reality talk.
Mr. So, like I said, this is very painful. This is very painful to watch this young man at this stage of his career, a political career. It is just difficult to see that nothing. I don't see anything here. Now, when I said the other day, even right now, it's not late yet. But the point is, the way he has been carrying himself with the Liberian people and the voters, they put him in a bubble so bad that he cannot come to the people except if there's a gathering at CDC headquarters. But he cannot even face the Liberian people. For example, on this here, if he had a good relationship with the Liberian people, they believe in him. He's still popular. I say that, and I'll continue to say he's still popular. So, but he doesn't have that much connection. You know what I'm saying? Sympathizing with the people position, or even being angry for the people. Be angry for the people if somebody do something wrong to the Liberian people and your money. You be angry for the Liberian people. That has not happened. Now, you would think that the president would come out and say, yeah, I said I was street tour the other day, but it went up. Who in Liberia would say, hey, man, we're going to business, man, come bring to us again. But people, this thing is not something small. I thought when I said street tour, because the last time you all remember, the people said no rice. I went to the warehouse, plenty of rice was there. So I thought the next time, God know how the people can behave. I thought the next step, but in one part, that's something we have to work on. You just bear with me. I'm doing my best. And then you lay out what it is that you're doing. For example, the story you just told us about the people making businesses on high sea. I'm sure the president and his people are quite aware of it. You can bring that into the conversation. Because we don't have the kind of money, we don't have that kind of economy to compete with other West African nations. We can make that thing, and we're doing our best.
It doesn't go a drip of water.
I'm just saying, you first of all, you have to have an issue with the importer squared away. Then you and the importer will face the Liberian people and ease the pain of the people. The people can wait. I know Liberian people will say, you know what? They will bring the rice. You'll be calm. But they don't get no information from you. They don't hear from you as their father. They don't even know whether you're coming home from hustling. They got nothing. What do you want the people to say? Of course. But here's a sad thing. Yes, a sad thing, Mr. So. This young man, I'm not too sure whether he won this position anymore or what have you, but that's not my point.
You agree with me?
That's not my point. My point here is this. This man, according to Monuba Mother, at one point when they took Winston Tubman over him, according to Monuba Mother, he cried. He said to the sedition, you mean you don't trust me? You got to bring somebody else after we form the party. You got to bring somebody else to take over me. He cries. And every time when I think about that, it's very difficult. But here he is now. The opportunity is his. And I also I'm going to be faulting a lot of people. I fought people like Monuba Mother, people like Jefferson Kochi. Why is it at this time? Why you're still allow people like Eugene Nabwe then to get close to the president at this time? Eugene Nabwe used to be a Unity Party member. Eugene Nabwe was running heavy campaign against CDC and Dr. Weir. Why? What is he doing now? What has he done in the past that perhaps he will now do to improve the image of this president? Monuba Monu used to be in the trenches. Jefferson Kochi used to be in the trenches. They still have that feeling for CDC. Why are they not coming out to protect whatever they have fought for? Why relinquish that kinds of a struggle to somebody who were not even part of you? And this is why Eugene Falcon, when he read it sometimes, you think people say, oh, Eugene Falcon, but he says the truth. Why do we have all these people? Because now he's president now. So all of the people, they broke people now. So all of the people, they are CDC insider now. Where were they? Where were they? They were with me, Samson told, publicizing. They were with me.
Those people, Eugene, you're talking about, they are Helen Johnson Sirleaf boys. Remember when the president, the unpreparedness of this government, it started from day one. And we had this conversation here. When you are government, and this is the same conversation we are having here, and some of you still, even with the opposition, with their own baggage too, because you don't know who even will speak for them. I don't like surprises, and that's why we got up. When CDC, it was glaring. The CDC, this 2017, could have been the potential government coming in place, seeing the wavelength and how these people pivoted in the directions of this president, because people felt disappointed of politicians, and coming knowing his background, they kind of make that sort of conclusion, oh, we're going to get something good. And the CDC did not put in place a strategy to get a team to address, to get hands on deck on this whole thing. What did they do? The very insider people who they may destroyed the president. When you come into power, there are few ministries and agencies of government. You have to get people who will be there, rain, sun, shine, because they're going to be the face of your government. You have almost key guy of Helen Johnson Sirleaf, a very united people who was Eugene then, to stay on. So it means there were no contingency plan. They should have had their Minister of Information, because he or she going to be the face to speak for the government. You should have had in place like a Minister of Foreign Affairs, somebody who going to be within the diplomatic world to rebrand, restructure the incoming government. Why do you think Samuel Doe, after all of the whole thing, ended up going to Sierra Leone to bring in Ambassador Ernest Eastman? Because you needed a career respected figure who will go there and kind of like smoothing all of the rough edges of government you coming into place. We didn't see that happen. All of a sudden, 80%. We don't know how that grade came into place. So it was glaring. They were saying prepare, I don't know, they took it to be like a light, something to run a national government of the country where people's lives going to be in your hand. And we have seen now from time to time the behavior of this government and the people. And unfortunately, you don't have the people. This is where they're going to miss Pumpkin Pan. Because Pumpkin Pan, if Pumpkin Pan was still in the fries, believe me, I'm talking about Nathaniel McGee. If McGee was still in the fries, what are you going to be a ridiculous statement? What are you going to be some kind of way? He will create some sort of political satire, and he will say anything to get this government something. But right now, they got a hook on him. He is, I don't know where he business, how you gonna end up. And they are not saying nothing.
I will differ with you on that. The name McGill to be brought into the conversation. I will differ a little bit with you on that because I also believe it was people like McGill that really started this this whole kabuki dancing with this president. When McGill, and they are not true insider. They are not true sedition. I believe. Look here in the United States, there are people who are well educated than McGill, and they are strong sedition, founding member of CDC, same age group. But McGill, once he got hold of that, he made sure that no one else come closer to the president.
And who allows him?
And what I thought would have happened, and what I believe, and I could be wrong, but many of these educated sedition, okay, the founding members, highly educated sedition founding members, staying here in the United States while the election was happening over there. I was under the impression that these people have already had a meeting and there was a clear understanding between CDC Liberia and CDC diaspora to say, okay, you guys just sit tight. As soon as all the things just continue to, because the CDC diaspora was supporting CDC Liberia with their money, finances. Okay, but I thought that because you're sending money, I thought there was an understanding that when this thing is over, everybody will come on board, and then we will have whatever we have already planned. We will just implement that planning process. But that was not the case. That was not the case. Because if it was the case, if CDC USA or CDC diaspora and CDC Liberia, if they are playing that if we take over, these are the government officials that are going to be in the process of taking control of each of these ministry, each of these, the administrative part of it. But I don't think that was the case. And so because I was in Liberia, Mr. Soul, there were many educated sedition that went home, hoping that this process, what I just explained, would have taken effect. But when they got there, to their surprise, McGill put his foot down. That in order for you to be able to get some of these positions, you have to give him something.
Well, because
and many of the people were not willing to give.
The Liberian people never voted for McGee because and what I was saying here, I'm not saying McGee is a guy. He's the chief of corruption. That is clear, is glaring, it's established fact. I'm just only saying at least he might have had the guts to come out to say something, or maybe to tell the president to say something, but he can't do it. But he himself corrupt. So we're going to have our folks to form part of the conversation. Let me put this number all here. It's all.
Is this the only topic you have on your agenda tonight, or there's other topic that we're going to go into?
What's your concern?
Before you put a number up, I have a topic that I want to discuss.
How can you? Okay, all things considered, but channel it through me. I don't know why.
Why do I have to channel it through you? What do you think you are, Donald Trump? I have to channel my conversation through you. What LPR have now, Donald Trump? I have to talk through you now.
I'm about to pivot to go to different talking point. You
okay, but then why you put a people calling number on now? That means you're shutting me off.
What?
Are you shutting me off now?
I didn't tell you say you're going off the program. I said this is all things considered.
Okay, all right.
Be considered. Why?
Okay. Run your show. When you come on my show, you do. You know what it means. So go ahead.
Man. Okay, we're going to talk about. So let's talk about Benedict Alexander Cummings of the ANC.
That's the kind of conversation I want to jump into. Go ahead.
Okay, can I cancel?
And I feel bad for you tonight because you don't have janitor here to help you. You don't have the center right to help you. And this is a subject matter that perhaps you would drive me off of the platform here tonight very quickly. So go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. I think anxiety is building. So
Oh, Jesus.
probably we're going
Oh, how did this happen?
we have to get it. Okay, but let's see. Benedict is gonna comment. The man from the far right, Atlanta, Georgia, Amos.
Oh, my
is in
goodness.
this conversation. I'm taking the number up, but guys, you can call and can participate. Let me bring.
And I thought I was gonna have a free ride here tonight. Now you brought in the center right now. Okay, I can deal with it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So okay, no, he said I'm not. Why? What? Do I have? Why? I don't understand. Why are you talking about? Okay, but I think the right man is here. He's a supporter or sympathizer. Do you say sympathizer or supporter?
Yeah, sympathizer.
Both.
He's a sympathizer.
Everything above. Everything above.
Oh, everything above. Oh, okay, okay. Well, then he's ANC. He's ANC. Remember ANC.
The train is about to derail here this evening. Okay. We saw Cummings drawing out this fabulous team responsible to do all of the mobilization, aggressive campaign for his election. What you make? Oh, okay. Let's take Mackie here, and I'm gonna be back in. Okay, Mackie. Good evening and welcome.
Hey, good evening, Mr. So. It's been a long time. How you guys doing?
We are doing great. And how are you?
Yeah.
Are you in Miami?
No, I'm somewhere in Milan, Grand Cru.
Full of trouble. All right, go ahead, get your trouble, Mackie. Go ahead. See you in Milan, Grand Cru.
Yeah. Anyway, what I call for meaning for what Mr. Toom, said earlier that where he is right now is he will soon be shutting down the whole admiration for Ambassador Weah. I just want to tell the public, you don't even have to give another more day. You don't have to give another more day. I beg you tonight after the show, please, I want for you to come up with a special podcast like what Eugene Falcon can always say you address the nation. Please address her and tell how and where you stand in the whole situation. Because Ambassador Weah, I don't know what else they can tell the president to talk to the people, to calm the people down. How many times you have not stressed the issue here, Mr. Toe? So I don't want for you to give another more day again, please. That's all I call for tonight. Please, I'm begging you. Yeah, you got to address it probably next week, Wednesday. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, my God. Okay, Amos Joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Samson Toe is about to have a state of affair of, I don't know what state of affair of President George Weah or what? Or state of affair of Sultan.
Yeah, and he said here his admiration for the man is so high that people don't want to destroy the man, not himself. But not been following the conversation all the way. Look, Mr. Toe, keep your hat on for George Weah. But for me, the man is a dismal failure to the Liberian people. Dismal failure. Right now, there's no government in Liberia.
No.
On the issue, there's no government.
Oh, okay.
There's no government in Liberia on this issue. From the president down to his cabinet ministers. There's no government now. All of them are finished in Lapa. All of them did not time. Well, ain't not Liberian man when they say Lapa, they are going on the ground, they are going in the shell of snail. They say that crisis produces leader. You see Ukraine? You see that young man, they say he's a comedian. But you see today, the role that man is playing, they offer the man to leave the country when the war started. Fear that Russia will kill him. He said, no, I will stay here. This is our country. We do everything. See that what people now, the men that people are referring to now as comedian, the men that have become a national symbol. That's why I'm telling you, crisis produces character. If George Weah was a leader, we would have seen the leadership this time. But he's not a leader. You talk about soccer business. Let me kind of chop up something here today.
Oh boy.
George Weah was the number 1 at the height of his career. Samson told you play football.
Where?
Samson played football around time, Monrovia, Coconut Plantation. They the one used to be there kicking people boom.
Big you, man.
So if you're a good player, you know you'll be a captain. But all the things that George Weah played for, now one day he'll make captain. George Weah is someone that people control. So you see, when you are playing that football, you were being managed. The coaches did not see the leadership ability in him. That's why you were a good player. But the leadership ability was lacking. That's why George Weah never became a captain.
Wow.
That's why George Weah never became a captain.
Wow.
Because the coaches, the manager did not see that leadership. They didn't see that leadership ability in him. Though he was a good player, but they didn't see that leadership ability, so they could not give him a captain job. So they said, "What? We can only manage this guy. When you manage him, that's the best thing. You don't make him captain, he will destroy the team." And that's the same thing now he's going to Liberia. The Liberian people thought that this man, after staying in the Senate, being peace ambassador, they thought that this man had gotten the requisite of leading a country, and someone said no. But they didn't listen to what they see here today. When women claiming our fence to look for rice, how do you feel, Mr. President? You say you're a women, feminine chief, and you see women sitting on somebody's lap, pushing them over more than 6 feet fence, dropping down like an Air Force. Mr. President, where is the leadership? How do you feel when that woman said that her children will drink water tonight to sleep hungry? Mr. President, how do you feel? How do you feel when that child is not going to school tomorrow because the mother or father cannot find food for them to eat? How do you feel, Mr. President? But you have the audacity to go celebrate a birthday party, to go have elaborate birthday party. Where is the feeling? What is the empathy you, Mr. President, as you claim that this man loved Liberian? What is the empathy that you have? What is the sympathy to show the Liberian people, I am in solidarity with you people? I will not celebrate your birthday. Maybe I was just sitting in my house, whoever can, no camera. But you see the good displays of camera. What is the empathy that the job we have, that the job we may have for the Liberian people? The common minister cannot speak.
Let me pick up.
Cannot speak.
Hold on 1 second. Let me pick up some of the calls coming in here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Caller, good evening. Hello?
Yeah, PR.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening, Alfonso. Good evening, Samson Brown Bakuto. I'm constrained to call tonight because I've been monitoring you, and the situation in the country is very serious. But like I said, on one of my comments over there, the president jumped a moving train by making pronouncement that he was not prepared to say. A responsible government, when such things that happen, you say we address the issue. Keep a time. You say that street talk today, everybody upside down in Liberia, no food. And this is where you're talking about something that they kept talking because they are lied to this nation so many times that they refuse to come up. That post you saw yesterday that they were all loading food, what I was in Africa, they were ever same post. They are behaving like some kind of communist country that they want to keep people in isolation. And their downfall started the day they were elected. Normally, when you do a transition, you form a transitional team. The outgoing finance minister will sit down with the incoming finance minister and look at paper and paper. But you know what they did? They told the people to leave. They were not meeting in your office. They used to put letter on their paper on their door. They were not meeting in your office. They were turn over to HR. How can you run a government like that? Elections are held in October, inauguration in January. So it gives you time to coordinate. At the end of the day, They started running behind people with cars, government cars, all of that. Those cars, they retrieve some of them, they put them at the executive mansion. At the end of the day, they all disappear. The president not talking because he don't know what to say. But if you go to a 44 church, he created another Bible to make it 67 book in the Bible, the book of Louis Brown, and he cannot say anything to the nation at the present time for this full crisis. And people do learn, people do pick up easily. And sometimes I wonder whether he passing by Taylor Hall and see how Taylor Hall looks like. Even car can break down and they get pushed there and sleep there, the next day will pick you up. That man's house, when he used to be dressing, people used to park cotton bypass. But when power get into them, they confuse and they do a whole lot of things with it. He say young life is in your favor. And you think people go home hungry and people not eating? Somehow we are fortunate that we have people that can do it. But there are other people who can do it. My sister sent rice yesterday, and I was able to get out to people in my neighborhood just to make ends meet. But how many were able to do it? How many people get people in America to do it? That's the reason why you see the country is going like this. It's going like the everyday thing are deteriorating because they know the government not even know what to start from. If I were president of that nation, of this nation, the Minister of Finance and Commerce by now will be up because if they injected 11 million into the government to subsidize rice and Commerce say they receive 3.5 and Finance say, oh, they get 7.5, $4 million right in between that. You know what? When that money went, in fact, why it should be 4, it should be 7.5 when 11 million give that money should be sent straight to Commerce Ministry account and they give it to those distributors and all of that. They shut it around your country because they were owing those people who used to bring the rice in and they can pay. And that's why they shut it around in this country. And so nobody will not going to sit there again to say, oh, well, you know, love do that. If you're not able to load, Mr. President, put that load down. It's too heavy for you. But thank you for the time.
Oh, boy. A new scripture, the book of
Sister Sarin Bonus, Sister says against Sister Sarin.
The book of Louis Brown. I'm telling you. I mean, it's reality. I call you, right? What we're going to be doing, right? Yesterday?
Yeah.
Answer me.
I say yes. Wait.
I mean, this is ridiculous. It's just I don't get it. I think, and I said that, and Louis Brown said that. I don't think probably, and just what Louis Brown was saying. I mean, that's the higher position of the land. At least history will recall him. But I don't believe, honestly, he's really taking an eye of the presidency to go for second term. I think the pressure is
Mr.
So he's just doing it.
Mr. So, this president still have time on his side. All he needs to do is to pivot, and all he needs to do is to straighten up. They know what to do. Liberians are forgiving bunch of people. They will not crucify you if you're being truthful with them.
Joe, it's truthful with them.
Well, I would say so.
Samson too.
Mr. Central Right, don't.
I just call your name. I just call your name. I say something too.
Okay. So the point here is, let me go down again. The man's popularity in Liberia must not be taken for granted. He's still highly popular. Now, if Dr. Weah was to go strictly to the people and do like what Mayor Ed Cox used to do in New York, how am I doing? Walking the street of New York, asking the people in the high rise, how am I doing? What do you want me to change? Can you send me information? What do you want me to do so that we'll do it together? If that kind of spirit is in Dr. Weah, it'll be easy for him to win re-election. But he doesn't have that. And even if he did, they're not going to allow him. That picture when the rice issue was just getting really, really hot, and people saw him, and they have audacity to put it on Facebook, where he was driving himself to a birthday party. That picture was not something, it didn't even put him in a good light at all. But here's another thing here that they need to think of. Madam Sali is no longer in power today, but there is no government without true constitutional backing that will go and mess with her. They will have the international community, some member of the international community to contend with. Not with him. If he leaves office tomorrow, in fact, there's a story on Front Page Africa where I believe the minister, deputy minister of foreign affairs somewhere, but the woman in charge of the war crime court, she's going to be visiting Liberia. And in that, she's already contacted the Liberian activists who are involved into war crime court issues. And there's a story also saying that Dr. Weah is continuing to backpedal. They said that was the word they used. So the point here is this: even if he's not corrupt, even if he has nothing else to do bad, but if he leaves office, where will he stay in Monrovia? That when he go places, people will not call him roll. Who's going to protect him? So in case if any other government decide to go after him, does he have friends in high places in the world that will try to speak for him? Look at the record. They're going to start with $16 billion missing, and the $16 billion for a long time they were not even distinguishing to say 16 billion Liberian dollars. They just said 16 billion. Then you have the $25 million map up. Then you have that info so whatever nonsense. It's all over. All over the international community. When he started contacting, when that guy from China was involved, the World Bank got involved. We're not going to do business with people there. So these people, they got record. Before they got involved, there was email exchange between the leadership of the World Bank before they were able to direct somebody to speak on behalf of the World Bank. So the point that I'm making here is this: Dr. Weah have to pivot. He has to change. You can't run a government based on friendship. This is not CDC government alone. This is the government of the Republic of Liberia. So if you think you're just going to run this because your friends are with you, then you're wrong. And as a result, this is what you're going to get. This is what you're going to get. And this cannot help. This cannot hold. So you have fanatic of CDC that believe nothing is wrong coming out of CDC government. Look at Ralphie Highway. Look at Ralphie Highway, for example. Look at some of the construction in the country. Bad. But that's not the point.
Okay.
But the fanatic continue to say that CDC government is doing right.
Let's come back to our talking point here.
But
with
you say, hold on, Mr. So you say now Weah is popular, which I don't know, but the popularity. So he taking the Liberian people for raw because they love him. Is that what you're saying? So even anything he does, the people will elect him. Taking advantage of the people. Popularity can fade away. Popularity can fade away. So if George Weah thinks that he's the most popular man in Liberia, that he can do anything, as he said, he will win the election at all costs. But I can tell him what the Liberian people are going through. Some people he will pay for it at the ballot box because not everybody will fall for this thing again. This man has put the people in a predicament. You got Liberians, no gun shooting, running to Freetown for food, running to Guinea for food. Where there's no gun in the town, there's nobody causing any trouble. He is in charge of the people's revenue. but cannot provide the feeding, the meal, the stable diet, the person had decided to gamble with it. And that war you continue to use the people around him. Mr. Toll, I'm sorry. George, we didn't like those people around him. He brought those people around him. He trusts the judgment. At the same time, he has the power to say, go from me. But he chooses not to do so because he has put the friendship, the interest of those people above the country. He's the one person can call a shot, no other person. Finance minister cannot dismiss the Commerce minister, cannot dismiss the Minister of Information, cannot dismiss the Minister of Agriculture. Only George Manuel Weah can do that. And with all the North in town, he's the president. He's not leading. Because people follow the example of the leader. If they saw George Weah taking strong action, all people say, hey, if you do this, the president will do this to you. But instead of that, what they see funfair and say, hell with the Liberian people. We will decide when to bring rest in, and you cannot do nothing to us. And that's why for me, I will continue to say, let the people join me in the street. Because probably that's the only language they understand. Because I cannot be going home. My son is crying, my daughter is crying, and telling me, Papa, no food to eat. They can't hardly sleep. It's frustrating. Some people lose their temper and beat a child, beat a wife. For what? Because the government failed to bring in food into the country. What George Weah can say tomorrow to the Liberian people that they will take him seriously? 2 weeks on into it, they have not been speaking. So what will they come tomorrow to say to the Liberian people? Samuel to a will every time he call, I'm calling to make to make clarity. Every time he will call, oh no, I'm calling to debunk this. It's not the truth. Where is Samuel to today? Where is he today? All the station in and out of Liberia, none of them can call. What happened? So I just want to tell you, your love and admiration for George Weah should continue. Let the Liberian people continue to suffer.
But my love and aspiration for the president has nothing to do with Liberian people suffering.
That's why I said your love and admiration for the Liberian people and for George Weah, it should continue. Why the Liberian people are suffering?
Yeah, but if you say that, it's like my love and admiration for the president or for Dr. Weah, it somehow have connection with the Liberian people.
It doesn't have no connection. I say your love and admiration must continue because you believe in him, you like him. It should continue. That's all.
Is that true?
I didn't say your love and admiration causing the people to suffer. I didn't say that. I said your love and admiration for George Weah should continue. Why did Liberian people continue to suffer?
But it also is not limited. It has its own limit, just like anything else in the world. It has its own limit.
I don't know. I don't know about that. You don't want to define that.
Okay, we will soon be going here. Let's look at this huge team done out by Alexander Benedict Cummings. You are Cummings supporter. What do you make of that?
Well, I think he talked wise. That's one of the things we talk about planning. Planning. A good leader will always sit down to plan, to strategize, to prepare for ahead of time. So by him putting this team together, I think it's a good step in the right direction because I think he wants to organize himself. Now waiting line, then he's running here and there. Putting these people together will give him an insight of responsibility how these people go about functioning. Instead of you doing the dime into time, then you say, oh, had I known, I would have done it earlier. But at this time, people start taking on responsibility and you see how they will be reporting, how they will be performing out there. With that, you have time to make the adjustment. So I would look at it as a good step. And the other thing I know, I heard a whole lot of people giving their own perception about some of the people that he named. But I said it yesterday.
Is that concerning? Is that concerning?
Oh no, yeah, it should be concerning. But the issue here is people have to address it in the context, and this is the context I try to put it in. We point finger at people, but we do not establish facts. It's all they say. I have said it before. People participate in charge of their government, who's a very tyrannical government. There was a reason that those people got involved. Other people came on the other side. They participated. There was a reason. But I say, if any of these people, you have proof that, hey, these people were in command and control and they instructed this to happen, bring it, then we can go after the people. But I don't want just to malign people because they were associated with a certain group of people. Because I say, if we do so in Liberia, then there will be nobody to work in the government. And let me try to give some example. Because person we are one more swinging on Louis Brown. That Louis Brown was in the government that killed people. And I said yesterday, I can repeat. Who was Charles Brown in the MPFL? And where is Charles Brown position doing in George Weah office? Ajibor Bona from Dole region. You might well show from the who saw the plane in London. He's in George Weah office. So if those people are in George Weah, then how can George Weah accuse other people that these people are in another organization that participated or that served another government that did a horrible thing to Liberian people? What we should be talking about is people's responsibility. What they did as an individual, we should hold them accountable. George Weah, Ellen Johnson provided 10,000 for the war. George Weah said, I go as what? Ambassador for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Did he see that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf financed a war that killed 10,000 of people in Liberia? He didn't see that. And he worked under that government for some time. Councillor Tion Gonko worked for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She was the part of the financier of the war. So that's a very slippery stroke to go down. What we should be talking about, people that committed crime that is documented, or if you have evidence that they did certain thing, bring it forward. Then we can face the people to ask them, this is what you did, this is the evidence. But instead of that, we should not just judge people because we feel that they are going on the other side and we try to malign them. That is the slippery slope. I don't want us to go there. I'm not just telling Liberians. Tokba Makinegwe, he was not a campaign, he was an advisor for George Weah. And he was the one that organized the economic forum that they had in Liberia at the time. Why? And he was with Charles Taylor. Did George Weah complain about that? No. Because he was in the corner. But once you leave the corner, then they come after you. And this is the double standard that I don't want us to go down that slope.
Okay, the Liberal.
You know, Mr. So, as this ANC man, I like the ANC people. They love to justify when things are not going their way. Their justification, but what I want to say to them, we're not stupid around here anymore. Look, Mr. So, to bring Abache into this, to be part of the group, and then you're going to write a letter, open letter to President Weah to say, they say that you find that you help to finance model and what have you. To bring Abache, a former defense minister in Charles Taylor government during the war, who every one of us saw in the street commanding people to kill Liberians. And this has nothing to do with people say. There's a video there. He was not just a commander, he was in the street, not just a defense minister, he was in the street pointing to Liberians to be killed. And you bring him in as part of your team. And then, on the other hand, you pointed out in your open letter to the president to say that the president and his people employ former generals. This is the height of a hypocrisy, if there's such thing as that. It is unbelievable what Comey has done. And then to go around now to try to justify his unthoughtful and uncompromising, unthoughtful behavior. He's now saying that Liberia will not be left behind. This is the Liberia for all. Comey has to clean. This is the man that been going saying he want to clean house. And who you bringing? Madam Duncan, person who the rumors has it that been then accused of mismanaging Grand Bassa County Development Fund. And you're gonna bring Mr. Central right? It's my time. When you were talking, I didn't say nothing. Go. I didn't say nothing. And now you're gonna come here now and expect me to give a pass to Comey for this. I believe what people have been saying now, perhaps it might have some little truth in it. That Comey wants to be president at all costs. Now you say that, Doctor. That's why, Doctor, we are using the word all costs as well. This is unacceptable. What is the point of this team right now? And you're naming this team. And you're not just bringing other people in, but you're bringing people who were fully responsible, I would say. Fully responsible, pointing out to Liberians to be killed. And these are the people now you have to be somebody that will be able to help you to win the presidency. Comey has to edit, if there's such thing, that list. And those people must be dropped immediately, because the American government that favor Comey, as far as I see it, and this is my own opinion, we're dropping like a hot cake if he's not careful with this, with bringing all kinds of people on board. This is unacceptable. And then you want to come and justify it to say everybody, hey, something to a part of the war, there's something to. Please save me. Comey appointing and making those people involved. It just shows right now to many Liberians that indeed, if Comey was to win, you think Dr. We are in his people, they got a lot of general right now. Comey will bring in the entire NPPFL, their general and whatever. They will bring them in. So you might not be sitting down here and say, oh, John, we have employing people former war law, they're working with them, and then in the meantime, you're bringing Abache. I mean, Daniel Che, I'm sorry, not Abache, I apologize. Daniel Che, former defense minister, Taylor, have actively involved in the war. I didn't see him shooting gun, but I saw him carrying gun. No. You wait. No.
Guys, let's do other. He was Emma Joy. Hold on one second.
You protect Mr. Soul.
No, this is not a courthouse here to protect.
Okay, whatever. I know you don't want to protect me, but the law will force you to protect me. You have no choice but to protect me. I know he's your friend, but this is a rule. You establish it, and you're going to protect me. But the point here is this man, I didn't see him shooting gun. Let me say that again. But he will carry gun in the street of Monrovia, pointing to other Liberians to be killed.
Okay. All right, I know we're going to be Sister just joining us. Sister Ty, good evening, welcome.
Hey, how you doing, man? I'm just leaving campus, so I had to put off the road after I heard Mr. George trying to defend the indefensible, the Cummings pick. So I just had to get off to make some points.
Yeah, I see you flowing in the direction here, man. You are resurrected liberal in the dying minute here. Look, but on a serious note here, you saw the names. The name Daniel Chi is synonymous to all of names all over the place. Why? Let me get your view.
And so I am disappointed in Alexander Cummings' decision making to have selected Daniel Che and Dan Morias to put him on his team. This is Cummings giving us an insight into his cabinet, what his cabinet choices will be. This is like a kitchen cabinet. And so when you look at that list, Cummings is telling us that the person he depends on for defense policy is going to be Daniel Che. Because that's a defense expert he got. And I don't know what about George want to parse it or not. What I see is that ANC folks, when the shoe is on their foot, they got plenty explaining to do. We cannot sit here and say, oh, and Joe, we are doing this. Joe, we are there when the mail were there. They didn't complain on that. America to come and do that. But come and say it's the alternative. So why you compare yourself to George Weah? The same thing we keep saying about CDC, and then CDC keep talking about Madame Salif. They came as an alternative. If you're going to be an alternative to George Weah, then don't be repeating what George Weah did, try to compare yourself to him. If that is the case, then let us re-elect George Weah. Don't pass around saying you're the alternative to George Weah. Daniel Che was a general with the MPFL before he became defense minister. There is no way you would tell me that man was the MPFL, he didn't shoot gun. Even besides that, the ANC is well noted for holding Madame Joa Howard Taylor accountable for the war when she was not a fighter, simply because she was married to Charles Taylor. But you want to explain away the culpability of Daniel Che? That is sad. That is very, very sad. And the liberal hit a point that I was hoping to hit, but you already made that point. When Cummings in his letters spoke about, and they've been accusing the government of hiring former fighters, ex-combatants, and that has been an indictment on the George Weah administration as having no love for peace by bringing in former combatants. And you bring in the chief former combatant, he said the Minister of National Defense, a former general. This is not explainable. I don't care how far George want to go. Oh, you gotta bring proof. What proof you got that Imaya Shaw saw airplane? You just indicted Imaya Shaw selling airplane. You didn't provide no proof for that. So the ANC people, you can't have your cake and eat it too. I respect Mr. Cummings. I actually do believe he has the ability to lead Liberia, but the choices he made in this list, I got problem with two people, Dan Morias and the former defense minister. And Mr. George, for you to come and draw Tewon Gonglo into this, because Tewon worked for the elected government, not as a presidential aide or an aide to Ellen when Ellen was a private citizen when she made the investment in MPFL. But when he came on after Ellen had been democratically elected, and he's serving as a solicitor general, prosecuting former president, and sending Charles Taylor to the Hague, and you want to come back and try to draw because so we can say because he worked for Madame Salif. I think that was below the pale. There is night and day between Cummings and Tewon Gonglo. Tewon Gonglo lived experience is there in Liberia to show that he's a man of character. You can't show that for Cummings. So there's no way you should be comparing those two people. Cummings has just shown us who his kitchen cabinet is going to be. And for me, I'm disappointed because he's telling me that he believes in the wartime ideology of Daniel Che. So our defense posture is going to be coming from the mind of Daniel Che. That is sad.
Okay. I know we're going to continue this conversation here. But let's turn the camera off here at Amos George. The decisions of the ANC, was that a good political calculation? Daniel Che, look at me. There are certain characters go off countdown. There are certain people when the surface and when their name appear, it brings, it's like a flashback. It brings in memory what I would see being seeing it live, but we know those people who was behind the wheel of certain things being done to see our country the way they go here. What was it? Is it to take a hit of Grand Bassa County? Is that the reason? Possibly political purpose?
Let me say this. Daniel Chair, I have a question about that. Daniel Chair. He was the defense minister on Charles Taylor. So I have a reservation about Daniel Chair. Demora, I don't know nothing about Demora. I don't know.
You didn't express that reservation. You were given to reason.
No. Listen, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I did not express that reservation because I didn't for the names. I don't have the list, but those people that I remember, those were the name I was calling. But Daniel Chair, when you say Daniel Chair, I remember the name because he was the defense minister during Charles at the time.
He was also a general with MPSL.
So I have a reservation about that name. Okay, I have a reservation about that particular name. So the rest of the people, I don't have reservation about it because if anything, it would be maybe they say, but Daniel Chair, his name was a household name in Liberia. So I have a reservation about that. And Mr. Sese, you are a very learned man. You're telling me about my West Shore. I think I will find the paper so you can read the story. How the plane was sold in London for $10 million by my West Shore. He sued the Liberian government at the time when the government had no representation in London. And so the judgment was awarded to him. And he sold the plane for $10 million. I will do the research and give you the people since you want evidence about my West Shore.
Mr. So,
but then that's not stealing. Then that's not stealing. If a court awarded him, then that's not stealing.
Hold on, guys. Let me make this observation quickly. Mr. So, there are 5 of us here on this panel, usually. One is not here tonight. Janitor is not here tonight. But we had a show last night. And Janitor made some statement. I didn't want to push it because I of course I was like, what that coming from? He made it twice. That we will push you even though we support you. But if decisions are made that are not in the interest of the people, Mr. So, if we can remember that, we will push you. We will make sure these decisions are taken care of. And I'm wondering now, knowing who Janitor is, I'm wondering if that's what he was making reference to yesterday.
And the reason I didn't is deliberate. He's not here tonight, so I'm not going to play into his mind as to whether he's going to pay me or them. But I think when he's on, then it's a fair deal.
But do you remember that statement?
Of course.
He made a statement, and the statement came about a question you posted, Mr. Toole. That answer came from a question you posted.
Mr. Joyce, don't try
but
to.
You cannot even confirm it. You can't confirm it to that question.
Mr. So, I know it's your show, and so you'd have to, if you want to throw me out, you can, because that's what you've been planning to do all night long. So I'm not.
Let
me address you.
What I want,
Mr. Mr. George, what I want you to understand is this: you're not going to bamboozle me to accept the conservative idea. Don't tell me how I asked my question last night. All I said was the man made the statement. Now you want to justify the statement, Mr. Central Right? This is not going to work.
I'm trying to back you.
You see, Mr. So is uncomfortable with my answer right now, and I expecting all of those things to happen to me because I'm the liberal here, and 2 of you are the conservative. So I expect those kinds of attitude towards me. But one thing for sure, you people will not drive me out of my conservative mind.
You're not broke.
Did I say conservative? I mean out of my liberal mind.
Wow.
Cesar, and you see that?
Okay, we are almost out of time. Gentlemen, the injection of Daniel Chair into the rank and file, because This team, drawing this team, you are simply telling us this is the team that's going to go all out there to get your message. Now,
Yeah.
you're going to be bringing a lot of flashbacks, reflections of the bad and good. How can this guy, I'm wondering, how was this decision arrived at? Because you're not going to put his name there and later on breaking up. Is he giving tools to the CDC government? Because look at Tiketo now, calling Pat Black, I don't know. Who can navigate through this corridor now to say, hey, we are not part of this thing here? See CDC. See the guy who professed to be the alternative, to be the new guy. See who himself surrounding himself with now in the sort of early stages of this political conversation that he's not there. Maybe the next thing now, Jack the Rebel, is he still alive or he dead?
Oh, he died.
I don't even know.
Okay.
I think Jack the
So
Rebel.
let me be the first to go on this here, Mr. So.
They're going to be coming on. No, but how can he? Is there any way?
Let me be the first to go on this here, and that would be my closing as well.
Yeah, we gotta.
This is the time for Comey to show his juice. Comey has to come quickly and distance himself from Donald Trump right now and right now. There's no two-way street about it.
He announced it. How can he do that?
It's easy. That's what makes you a man. That's what makes you a man, because the people might reject what you just did, and you as a true leader, you can pivot.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and let me just brush on what Mr. Toh is saying. He's right. He's right. And this is why someone was saying, because if you say you came as a change leader and you must listen to the people, if a character has a questionable character, then of course he got to step aside. You can't defend that one. You can, if you want to lead the people, and there's somebody in that group that people have some serious reservation about, hey, you can tell that person, hey, I like you, but you have to step aside. And that is the truth that Mr. Toh is talking about. So we will make some noise on this issue.
So it's like CDC to General Power, ANC to General Chie, right?
So, well, I don't want to make that comparison.
Why you don't want to make that comparison? They are all generous.
No, all I'm telling you, the CDC never took an action, but we're going to compare. We're going to make the noise that there's action.
Before Cecil
I'm
going to wrap it up. Before this, because this thing, it shouldn't be an automatic. I don't think it was just out of the blue. Cummings and the executive just come out to make this sort of pronouncement here. Don't you think these sort of names surface within the inner walls of the Cummings folks before coming up with this sort of name? How can you now chastise or even hold the CDC government? Because this is an initial infestance of all ex-general, some of them who have not even properly demobilized as well. You're breaking them down. At the end of the day, guess what? He controls a huge rank. Potentially, he's going to be in charge of recruitment for, if Comey is to be elected, for security. SSS, the army, or joint security forces, because they still have their loyalists there that they think they can count on to get things done. Will you think people within the ANC, before Cecil wrap it up, do you think that they're going to have, will they meet Cummings to have this sort of conversation? To say, Chief, you need
of course. Of course. There will be a phone call made. And the voice
your voice is fading away. This seems not to be a good one.
No, I'm saying
he's in trouble.
No, I'm not in trouble. I'm saying there will be calls made to say, hey, how you derive of this decision? This is not right for this
quickly here.
So that
would there be
Samson told, I don't back down from anything.
Okay, quickly, Emma Joyce. Quickly,
yeah.
Is there any possible scenario that can erase Daniel Che if Comey decide not to remove him or the executive? Is there any possible scenario that you think is, well, you know what, Daniel Che, I'm cool with him? Is there any possible scenario you think?
Oh yeah, there can be pressure from inside. There can be pressure, Mr. So.
No, what I'm saying, if you decide not to remove him, is there any condition that you can accept that? You as an individual.
No. No.
Would that change your conversation towards Cummings?
Most
It
likely.
may not change my conversation totally, but I always continue to
What do you
push
mean by
that
totally?
it should not.
What's the meaning of totally?
Cummings is an individual. There's an institution you're talking about. That's a different. Those are two different
Institution,
things.
but he's
Cummings
going to be the chief executive. Okay, you're not answering my question. Let me bring in Sissy. Sissy, are you there?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
I think did Liberal manage to make a little score here tonight? I think he's going to sleep fine, big time tonight. Seeing you laughing, and then you came out to kind of hit it here. Do you see there as a potential problem for the ANC folks?
It is not a potential problem. It is a problem. Look, I listened to Anthony Mariah Yakula today on OKFM, the chief of staff to Alexander Cummings. She said she was a part of this process. And so what that brings to mind is we sat here and for weeks we berated the president, George Weah, for having McGill, his chief of staff, to give him the name of people that he sent to the Senate without properly vetting them. We talked about the airport director, that guy who was supposed to go to the airport and all the other pieces. And we said that was dereliction of duty. We are here now. Cummings is giving us a list that was vetted by his chief of staff. And that list includes somebody with very questionable character. And this is a group of people that said they're going to ensure to have economic and war crimes. But you're including people who are generous in the NPFL. They haven't taken power yet. They're already showing us that they can be like McGill, that they can send people to be confirmed without vetting. That is stone death. Look, if I think Cummings is not listening. I think he so much is looking at how he can win elections versus how does he keep his character. He brought to the Liberian people not too long ago, Louis Brown. People came out, and that hasn't even quieted down yet. You would think that political maturity would say, you know what, we will send a list without Donald Chair on it right now. And that list is fine. It's very good. I saw a lot of good people named on that list. But you see what's happening? What got it overshadowed is the Donald Chair and the damn Mariahs, right? But predominantly Donald Chair. And so Cummings is telling us that he will be like another George Weah. What a Liberian poor complain, he'll continue to do what he got to do. Except for he can't go to the studio to make music, but he will just keep appointing people that got questionable characters. That's why the Donald Cummings is telling us. And sadly, the ANC people are telling us that they will come and do the same thing that the CDC is doing. Every time you point out, they say about Ellington, so now they will say about Joe Weah Town too. So then who is the alternative to whom? You know what I'm saying? So Alexander B. Cummings has shown us that just like Joe Weah is not speaking to the rights issue, the only time George Weah will come out to speak to the public when you talk about you can't go outside the 25-mile radius, then he come and rebut. Right, but you can talk to the rights issue. You can talk to the people killing. So Alexander Cummings that can sit and pen an open letter, an op-ed to the president about having people who have questionable characters as far as their participation in the war, and brings that person to be his kitchen cabinet, his defense advisor. He's not bringing Daniel Chair because of Daniel Chair intellect. He does not have the learned mastery of national defense. So you're not bringing him for his intellect. So what are you bringing him for? Right? And if Cummings can tell us that he sat with his kitchen cabinet, including his minister, what's the thing, his chief of staff, who will be like the Nathaniel McGay if they win? She's now doing the same thing McGay was doing. They're not properly vetting people. So they've already started giving bad judgment and bad advices to the would-be president before he becomes president. This is not a potential problem. This is a definite problem. Cummings needs to walk away, walk their knee back, because that's how you show leadership, and ensure and tell the Liberian people that he will not be making those kind of decisions in the future. I think that was stone deaf. I think Cummings has shown to us some insight into his way that he's going to lead the Liberian people, and it's going to be George Weah-like. No wonder they came from the ANC, from the CDC, because the ANC was born from the CDC. So I guess they all got the same man. So they do the same thing.
We saw on a Daniel Chair watch AFL how people were not trained. It was heavily infested by NPFL fighters, people that were not even they are Liberian, but they were not properly demobilized. They were not ready to be integrated into system. But what we saw Mr. Taylor doing at the time was to build a military arsenal to hold on to power. And he, Daniel Chair, with others, we're getting a lot of information. We're going to find time here to have this discussion here. ANC, I'm waiting to see how the Joseph Boyka folks, Unity Party people can address this here. The Liberal Progressive tonight is, I don't know how he picked on this year, but he got out of his Liberal share. Gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for this evening. Amos George.
Yeah.
Why are you giving Amos George another time to redeem himself?
Why
would you even call his name? The show over. Why are you calling Amos George's name to redeem himself?
But John, what did you hear Mr. Top passing today?
I called him. He's another problem.
You said, gentlemen, thank you for the show. We all got well. Because you're your friend. What are you on the scene? So now you say the Liberal got a good night tonight. Amos George. What you want?
You don't even know what I'm going to say. Wow.
Yeah.
What happened? He said in the initial stage of the show, he came down with his praise and hallelujah for George Weah. So I said,
I'm waiting for the when they for me to come for to pray for George Weah.
Yeah. So now
I'll let you enjoy the win today.
Please let a Liberal have his fancy. Don't work us and say we're about to go.
No. So now he didn't want me to say anything now.
Yeah.
Last time I said, George, he said, "No, the show over."
That you running the show now?
He took control of us.
I say let the Liberal go win. The Liberal got to win today. Me, I'm talking nothing about George Weah being that the next show will come on that one. Let him enjoy a victory today.
I'm not going to take the knife from you, Liberal, but that is, I'm waiting to see how this is going to play out. And we're waiting to see if, what's his name, coming. Because it happens here. There are certain people don't want to battle with them in the campaign. Because you just resurrecting people all pain.
You can pull the person back. You know, that's not a big thing.
He needs to get that. Okay,
I think it will be maturity. It will be a sign of maturity if he pulls back and say, "I listen to the Liberian people, I pull him back." I don't think he will lose anything.
Okay, quickly here. Because you have argued the point of ANC here. Do you think that's something he needs to do now and sooner than later?
It needs to do it now.
Are they having that conversation? You think?
No, really. Daniel Chair name it never came across my mind. I had not looked at that list. The only because I heard people reading some of the names. Louis Brown was and marking the gateway. That was two people names I mentioned. Dan Mariah, I don't even know Dan Mariah from anything. So, but to show maturity and leadership, to be steadfast, to tell the Liberian, but this is it. This is not time to act. You can't wait later on. No.
Wow.
Even in America, yes.
So my first time seeing Liberal laughing at the end of the show, say you really? Oh wow.
So even here, there are some names the president nominate. People say, "Hey, pull that name back."
All right.
You're not making it. So it's the same thing.
That's what we will be having Ambassador Louis Brown here on Sunday. And even though Louis Brown is Louis Brown of himself, but the combination to the selection, and I have no doubt that he's going to be in the face of this campaign because I listened to him on 50-50 this morning. He's already taken a fight, which was a wrong slope. The president and the CDC really decided to go now, give Louis Brown the edge because, you know, those guys, I know Louis Brown, they come from up the hill, they are MPP boys and they know how to take on the fight. It's going to be a big time distraction to the CDC with this.
Why would the president even elevate Louis Brown like that? Why? Why did he choose to talk about it? Why?
I don't know. It's just unbelievable. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Deliberate, thank you so much for tonight.
Sorry to our viewers. I was in class, but I was listening. And I was like, I got to get off the freeway and get on. I apologize. But,
yeah, I know, because we didn't see you soon. I knew. I said, well, the man, professor. So who prompted you to jump in by force to pull over like that? He said,
my papa, the way he was defending him, defending the criminal, then you come, my papa, he come, my only candidate in the EAT. Y'all release that list, y'all leave all alone. You wait, well, I need that, sir.
Okay, we are off air. Tiawan, let's come out too.
No, you see, he said you're off air. I don't know about lips, Billy, but if our lips come out, it would be so incredible.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. Have a pleasant
Good night.
Thank you. All right, yeah. Okay, folks, thank you so much for the show. That's how we're going to draw the curtain down here this evening. So we'll be back here by God's willing. Another beautiful day to have more program. To our viewers, listeners, we say thank you so much for your time, for your patience, for your comments, your interactions. Of course, it's helpful. Dwalo. Hope one of these days you're going to pop through here, and our man just set contour as well. I think this is about our country. We shouldn't just give it to politicians to have a conversation. It is important, Liberians, we take charge of this narrative and be able to speak out. Hey, James David Dominic, thank you so much. Jackson Kamara, Twakud Ziat, Dr. Kulat, thank you so much. My invitation is still out there. I think we need to have these sort of conversations. Let's drive this thing out of the hands of the politician, because they will always be making careless statements and inclusions of what they are doing, but we should have the authority to speak. Mr. Wallahinen, thank you so much, and all of you for sharing your evenings with us here. Vicky Dot, Abel, thank you so much. Your comments, your tweet interaction, and Nasek, Mr. Telly, the Alfonso, right there in PA. Thank you so much, Prince Israel. I want to thank you so much, Vic. Jalet and OKFM, thank you so much for your time. Time has caught up with us is 10:05 Eastern Standard Time. So, street talk versus reality talk. The President of the Republic of Liberia. We're still waiting to see what comes out of it. So we are hoping that this issue be put to rest and let the President take charge. This is the executive mansion, the rights issue yet to be addressed. Why? Is it street talk or reality? The President of the Republic of Liberia. We want to thank you so much for your time this evening. Bye-bye.
They call you useless, but one day Jesus will make you useful. So let it go. For how long will you hold? How long will you hold? You've been holding on for too long now. You are holding on, you're making Jesus to run on. So let it go, it is painful, let it go. Oh yeah, mama, let it go. Let Jesus take. Let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go. Oh, let it go, let it go. Lord, help me, let it go. Help me, let it go, man. Oh yes, you